Here's how to install your Bootstrap game on a Windows PC. Before we start, three things. First, I assume that you've downloaded and installed Dr. Racket. If you took a Bootstrap class with me in 2009 or 2010, you'll recall that we used Dr. Scheme to write our games. Since then, Dr. Scheme has been renamed to Dr. Racket, and you'll need to download and install the latest version of Dr. Racket in order to run Bootstrap. If you haven't already done that, please see my website at drewhess.com/bootstrap for the download links. Second, I assume that you've emailed me to get the latest version of your Bootstrap game that's compatible with Dr. Racket. If I previously gave you a USB flash drive with your game code on it, that version of the game won't work with Dr. Racket due to some changes that were made when Dr. Scheme became Dr. Racket. So you'll need a new version of your game in order to use it with Dr. Racket. Again, if you haven't already done so, see my website at drewhess.com/bootstrap for instructions on how to contact me for the updated version of your game. Finally, I assume that you've downloaded and unzipped the updated game files that I sent you after you emailed me. I suggest that you unzip the files either in your My Documents folder or in your desktop folder, but anywhere will do. The name of the folder containing your game files is the same as the name of the zip file that you downloaded, so the folder will be called something like yourname-bootstrap. Okay, let's get started. First, we start Dr. Racket from the Start menu. Once Dr. Racket is started, open your game source code file. From the File menu in Dr. Racket, select Open, then navigate to the folder where you unzip your game files. Once you find the folder, double-click to select it, then double-click on the folder named Game. In the Game folder, look for a file named yourname-game. This is a file that contains your game code. So in my case, for example, I'm looking for a file named drew-game. Select the file, then click Open to open it in Dr. Racket. Next, we need to install the Bootstrap Teach Pack. Now, you only need to do this the first time you want to run your game, or whenever I send you an updated version of the Teach Pack. For example, if I fix a bug in it. From that point on, whenever you want to run your game, you only need to open the game source code file. You do not have to install the Teach Pack each time. To install the Teach Pack, go to the Language menu and click Add Teach Pack. This will bring up the Teach Pack window. Any Teach Packs you install will show up in the User Installed Teach Packs pane on the right-hand side here. Let's add one now. Click the Add Teach Pack to List button. Now go back one folder level from where you found your game source code file and double-click the Teach Packs folder. Then open this file named bootstrap-proj-teachpack. You'll see a brief message from Dr. Racket saying that it's compiling the Teach Pack, and then the Teach Pack will show up in the list of user-installed Teach Packs. If that worked, it means you're ready to run your game. If you've installed a previous version of this Teach Pack, Dr. Racket will ask you if you want to overwrite the one you have. If that happens, go ahead and click the OK button. If the Teach Pack doesn't compile for some reason and you get an error, please contact me via email. Again, see my website for details on how to do that and let me know what the problem is. At this point, we're done installing Teach Pack, so click OK. You might get this message saying something like already added bootstrap proj teachpack.ss teachpack. You can safely ignore it and just click OK. Now we're ready to run your game, so click the Run button and watch it go. When you're done playing, close the window like you would any other Windows app. If you want to make any changes to your game, make them here in the Definitions window at the top. And then press Run again to see your changes. Any errors in your program will show up down here in the Interactions window. And they'll be highlighted in the Definitions window so that you can correct them. By the way, if the Interactions window ever disappears for some reason, you can always bring it back by selecting View, Show Interactions in the View menu. The next time you want to run your game, just launch Dr. Racket again. Then choose File, Open to load your game source code file, and press Run. Remember, you don't need to reinstall the Bootstrap TeachPack after the first time, unless I've given you a new version of the TeachPack since the last time you ran your game. That's it. If you have any problems, please see my website for contact information and for possible solutions to common issues. Good luck!